Welcome back to Rise and Grind, and welcome back to the What the Fuck series, where I am explaining words that the online space loves to use without actually telling you what the fuck it is. And today is one of my favorite things. You guys already know this. If you clicked on this link or you clicked on this episode, you know hypnotherapy is one of my favorite things. And I'm not just saying that as a hypnotherapist. I loved it long before I got my certification. And today I'm going to share with you why that is. We're going to talk what it is, how it works, why it's not a bunch of bullshit, and how it's basically going to change your life. Now, I know that what I'm about to say is a very bold claim, but I believe that hypnotherapy might just be the most effective way to rewire your mind, and as a result, the most effective way to totally change your whole fucking life and manifest the things that you want, while also being the most misunderstood and really underrated, if you ask me. And I can recognize that hypnosis as a concept is something that is very misrepresented and really just people have done it a disservice, truly. Because I don't know about you, but before understanding what hypnotherapy truly was, I thought it was like you're getting very sleepy and things like getting dangled in front of your face, or people that were like, clucking like chickens or like doing random shit that they didn't know they were doing, and people would make fun of them. It was like a source of entertainment, almost like a magic show. That is how I viewed hypnosis as a concept before I really understood hypnotherapy. And I really just like looking back now as a hypnotherapist, I'm like almost pissed that that's the representation that people are used to. But I can recognize that not everything that's fabulous and not everything that's effective is understood by the general public. Totally get it. But if I have anything to do with it, you yourself are going to walk away today with an absolute full understanding of hypnotherapy, how it can change your life, what it can do for you. And I personally have shifted so many things through the use of hypnotherapy. I was first introduced to it probably about 3 or 4 years ago as a hypnotherapy client. One of my mentors was getting certified as a hypnotherapist and started to incorporate it into our mentorship. And it literally fucked me up in the best way, okay? I started to think differently so quickly, and things that took me a long time to shift before, limiting beliefs or things that were holding me back, all of a sudden like weren't a problem anymore after I started using hypnotherapy as a tool. So if you are someone who wants to shift literally anything, hypnotherapy is for you. But before we dive deeper into that, and before we dive deeper into what hypnotherapy truly can change for you when it comes to your brain, I want to give you a relatively thorough explanation of what it actually is. Because at least as far as I'm concerned, even after I started to be a hypnotherapy client, I'm not sure I really understood what was going on. And I think that if I did understand, first of all, I probably would have gotten certified sooner because it's so fucking cool. But second of all, my appreciation and I would say my ability to take it seriously probably would have been a lot different. So I think in order to tell you what hypnotherapy is, I first want to tell you what it's not. And it is not this like form of magic. It's also not a form of mind control. I think people have a lot of fear that when you are under hypnosis or when you're experiencing hypnotherapy, that the person is allowed to control you. And that is actually the furthest thing from the truth. All hypnosis is actually self-hypnosis. Nobody can force you to do anything. Nobody can really control any part of it except for you. Now, is your mind open to suggestions when you are doing a hypnotherapy session? Yes, of course. But there is absolutely no way that the other person is in control of you or your mind. And you guys know that I could not get through an episode without giving you a little bit of brain science. And since hypnotherapy really is just an element of neuroscience, we're going to dig into this for a second, because hypnotherapy is a way to alter your subconscious mind. And I have said this before, but I will say it again. I will say it a million more times. Your subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your thoughts and 95% of how you see the world, really. So when you have the ability to alter that, everything can get so much better because the things that have been holding you back or hurting you can get altered while you are in a hypnotherapy session. So much of the time when we try to make changes or we try to overcome limiting beliefs or we try to really shift anything or manifest anything, we try to do it from our conscious mind. But here's how I want you to think of it. Your conscious mind is basically just like the opening to your brain. And when that is closed, which most of the time it is to any sort of suggestion, when that is closed, the ability to make lasting change on anything that you feel or anything you believe is almost impossible. But when you experience hypnotherapy, the door opens and we have the ability to surpass that doorway, get into your subconscious mind and change those things that have previously held you back from the things that you really desire. So essentially, it's a way to rewire your mind in live time. And I've talked before about neuroplasticity. You've probably heard that word like every single episode, but it's really just a fancy word for the ability to change your thoughts, the ability for your brain to change. And hypnotherapy is literally just neuroplasticity in live time. It's the ability for your subconscious mind to change right there in the moment instead of waiting and spending so much time on those things, trying to get through your conscious mind and all this stuff. It is just seriously like this manifestation shortcut, if you ask me. It's the ability to alter your subconscious mind in probably the quickest, most effective way that there is. And I think another thing that a lot of people don't know is when you are experiencing hypnotherapy, you're not sleeping, but you're also not like fully alert. Your brain is in the theta state, which is essentially just like a fancy way of saying it's open to suggestions, it's calm, it's relaxed, and you actually enter the theta state every single day. Your brain already does this. It's not like being forced to do something it's not naturally supposed to do. The theta state is a natural state for your mind. It happens kind of when you're falling asleep or even like when you're zoning out, when you're doom scrolling on TikTok. Sometimes your brain is in the theta state then as well. So accessing that state of mind intentionally is all that's occurring during hypnotherapy. It's not some like crazy like brain control thing like people think it is. And I know if you're anything like me, I used to think hypno was like this super woo-woo energetic thing. It's not, spoiler alert, it's just super neurological. And even the American Psychological Association recognizes it as a form of clinical intervention, okay? You can heal from trauma, you can heal from stress, you can heal from anxiety, you can change your behavior. Some people use it for phobias, some people use it for addiction. It's incredibly powerful and it has the power to change so many things about your life that might be holding you back from living the life that you actually want. On top of the fact that it can really help you overcome those things that kind of are ruining you on a day-to-day basis. And just to dig a little deeper into how it works, I kind of gave you the theta state spiel, but there are 4 states that your brain can be in, right? You can be in a beta state. That's what I'm in right now. I'm fully awake. I'm fully alert. Here I am talking to you. I'm recording things. I know what's going on. I know what time of day it is, right? Then there's the alpha state. You are awake during the alpha state, but this could be like you're calm, your eyes are closed, maybe you're like meditating, you're aware, but you're relaxed and calm. Right underneath that is where the theta state exists. That's where hypnotherapy happens. That is where your brain is open to suggestion. You are very relaxed, but you're not asleep. And essentially you're in this like hyper learning mode. And then beyond that state of consciousness is the delta state, which is basically deeply sleeping, right? So as you're falling asleep into that delta state is usually where theta exists. And that mode is like chef's kiss for changing your mind about things. And I'm pretty sure I've said this on the podcast before, but if I haven't, I've definitely said it on Instagram. This is why I'm such a proponent of visualization before bed as a form of kind of calming down as part of your nighttime routine, because when you are in the theta state, still thinking about your visualization, that is reinforcing whatever it is you want to happen and really, really helps your manifestations. But anyway, when you are in the theta state, your subconscious mind is easily accessible. That is when we can open that door that I talked about earlier, get to your subconscious mind and change beliefs. So for example, this is something that I had to work on myself. This is something clients come to me with. If you have an issue with money for whatever reason, or you have an issue with confidence, and you come to me and you're like, I just can't get out of my own way. I feel like making money is hard, or I feel like I just can't show up that way. Those things exist in your subconscious mind. That's where they live. That's where they're stored in your brain. And you can spend however many months or years of your life racking your brain trying to change that. Or in one hypnotherapy session, you can override those thoughts, replace them with highest self thinking, and move on with your life, having had a whole new perspective on money or confidence or whatever else, really. And it is so effective that you can basically start to have new neural pathways right away. And without that subconscious rewiring, without actually digging into that part of your mind, it really doesn't matter how many times you say affirmations. It doesn't matter how many times you speak out loud that things are going to be different. It's just not going to work. So stress about money is something that clients definitely come to me for when it comes to hypnotherapy. Even just the feeling that they can't raise their prices, or that they can't charge what they want to charge, or if they have trouble selling, things like that, those are definitely things that can be tackled with hypnotherapy. But let's talk about a few other things that can really change when you have some hypnosis. Your confidence and your self-worth is one of the biggest ones. And I would argue this is one of the most important ones that you can tackle as well, because that has a huge domino effect on the rest of your life. So if you struggle with confidence, you struggle with showing up authentically, you struggle with being able to speak your mind, you struggle with being able to be proud of yourself or really see your value, hypnotherapy can work with that. Another thing that was a huge win for me back when I started utilizing hypnotherapy as a tool, and it still has lasting effects, so I know how powerful it is anxiety and stress. I am someone who has really suffered with anxiety in the past, really badly. That's part of why I love EFT tapping as well, which is going to be part of this series. But I had such a hard time with anxiety. I had such a hard time with stress as well. My cortisol was probably just through the roof all the fucking time. And you can release those things through hypnotherapy as well. So those few things that money mindset, confidence, that self-worth, anxiety, stress, those things I would say as a whole are the most popular things that clients come to me for. But let me just rapid fire a few other things that hypnotherapy can really help you with. The first one is trauma. If you've experienced something traumatic, if you have something that you're healing from, hypnotherapy can help with that. If you've had trouble losing weight because of your habits, or you want to change the way that you're eating, or you want to change the way that you feel about your body, or you want to change the way that you feel about exercise, hypnotherapy can help with that. If you have trouble sleeping, if you have trouble relaxing, if your brain doesn't shut the fuck up, hypnotherapy can help with that. And then, of course, things like phobias, things like addiction can also be helped with hypnotherapy. So I have had clients, especially in Healing House, come to me and they say things like, I've been doing the hypnotherapy and I've been making more money than ever. Or I've been doing the hypnotherapy and I just booked a vacation without any guilt or stress about money. Or I just showed up on my Instagram live and I had such confidence. Or, there are so many things that when you utilize hypnotherapy as a tool, it will literally change things for you so quickly. And that's why I like it, because I have told you guys before, I'm an impatient queen, okay? I don't like to wait for things. I don't like when I have to wait months and months and months to see any results on something, which is not always a good thing. Patience is a good thing at times as well. But I love when something works and it works quickly and effectively. So really what hypnotherapy boils down to is your subconscious mind is in charge of creating your reality. It's in charge of creating everything. It's in charge of manifesting everything that you want. And your subconscious mind can be altered through hypnotherapy. So when you change the programming in your subconscious mind, you can change your reality. So hypno changes your reality. It's really that simple. It's not this crazy thing that a lot of people think it is, which is why I felt so compelled to do this sort of what the fuck is hypno, almost mini training for you. And on top of that, I am such a believer in the power of hypnotherapy that I knew I had to share this information. I knew that I had to get this out there because it has so much potential to change everyone's life. So if you're someone who has tried the affirmations, you've tried journaling, you've tried mindset work, and you feel like it's just not quite working, or you've been doing a lot of things and you just aren't really seeing any changes, hypnotherapy is probably what you're missing, legitimately. The alteration in your subconscious mind is what's missing for you if you're doing all of those things and nothing is happening. So if instead of what the fuck is hypnotherapy, you're saying, what the fuck do I do about it? I have a couple of options for you. Number one, you need to get in Healing House. That's my membership. There's a huge vault of hypnotherapy recordings in there waiting for you. They're amazing. Highly recommend. I know I'm a little biased, but I really believe in the power of hypno, and I put my soul into those recordings. So you can hop in there and get immediate access to multiple hypnotherapy recordings you could use right away. Or I do offer a 7-day hypnotherapy reset where you and I get to the nitty-gritty one-on-one with some hypnotherapy. So if you have something specific that you want to work on and you really want to go deep on that thing, that 7-day reset is for you. And like I said before, hypnotherapy is not magic, but it almost feels like it is because it is literally one of the fastest, most effective ways to change your subconscious mind and change your behaviors and reality as a result. So with that, my queens, I am leaving you with this info. I'm going to put links to things down in the show notes, down in the description, or you can always hit me up on Instagram at Carly Greiner and we can chit chat about this. Go slay, go change your life, go rewire your subconscious, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.